I would like to address a video circulating on social media involving the actions of a former employee of the department.
What should they have done rather than the way that they did handle this situation?
Basically, the exact opposite of what they actually did do.
No.
As promised, here is the footage showing Officer Michael Bell, formerly of the Grayson, Kentucky Police Department, arresting 19-year-old Khalil Ware, a baseball player at a local university. Khalil was dangerously intoxicated and he needed help.
I'm not trying to get him in trouble. He is underage. I just don't know what to do.
How much have you had to drink tonight, big dog?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nah, stay in there, man. Sit down, man.
Instead, Bell, along with another officer who was angry because he thought Khalil was embarrassing his baseball team, then used force on him.
You're not gonna pull the KCU card because I'm a Knight too. I also play I play baseball at KCU. So guess what? You're making my baseball team look like right now.
Including tasing him.
Get in the car, dude. No.
Ah! Get in the car. I've told you 4 times.
Pepper spraying him in the face multiple times.
No.
Sit down.
Please.
Sit down.
And then shutting him inside this contaminated interview room.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Well, you done it.
No, I can't breathe.
For an extended period of time as he begged for help.
Please. I'm gonna die. No!
I requested the body cam, and I watched it again and again, and it just got worse every time I watched it.
Quit.
I'm good. Let me just Dude, you need to stop going in there.
I think that this is the video that ended Bell's career at the Grayson Police Department, and you'll see why. And you may be wondering, well, where is Bell now? Where did he go? Yes, he popped up in another small town in Kentucky, and apparently he's now been involved in a shooting, though it's all very hush-hush. Also, the city of Grayson has now publicly responded to my first 2 videos. Did they apologize? Did they circle the wagons? Or did they do both?
Never seen so many dum-dums in my life.
Let's go through it. The cases that stay with me are the ones where the damage was done before anyone knew to fight back. By the time they understood their options, it was too late. People trust that their Medicare broker has their best interests in mind. Unfortunately, that often is not the case. In fact, the DOJ filed a massive fraud complaint alleging that the largest brokers in the country were steering seniors to the plans that paid them the highest kickbacks as opposed to the plans that were right for the seniors. That's why Chapter is important. They are the only Medicare advocates that I trust because Chapter is the only advisor that compares every Medicare plan nationwide. And their advisors are independent, unbiased, and salary-based. They work for you and not big insurance. If you're already on the right plan, they will tell you, and if not, they can help you switch. The call is free. They can review your options in about 20 minutes. So call Chapter at 215-876-8603. Again, that number is 215-876-8603. Navigate Medicare with the advocate that you deserve. Now let's get back to this video. This is part 3 of the saga of Officer Michael Bell. You've already seen his fake DUI arrest of Nate Stevens from part 1.
The next time you make an aggressive move towards me, you will be going to jail for menacing, okay?
I got you.
Yeah, otherwise he's going to get hell over now.
DUI?
Yes.
I'm not under the influence.
Okay.
Bullshit. Is that literally what you guys are arresting me for?
Then he ended up losing in court in part 2.
It is what it is.
I'll link both of those videos in the description below if you haven't seen them yet. Now, in part 3, you'll see the other arrest from about a month later, and it shows that not only is Officer Bell willing to perform an illegal arrest like he did to Nate Stevens, but he's also willing to use excessive force against a 19-year-old kid who needed help and did not pose a threat.
Can you cut these wrists so
Sit down. If I gotta come in here again, we're gonna get in more trouble. Okay. Let me do my citation. Quit bouncing your head off crap. Sit down here and let's get through this together. Okay?
So before we could get to part 3, the city of Grayson preemptively released the footage of this incident, or at least a portion of it, as well as a public statement to try and get out in front of this video, which, as you probably know, we've been working on for a number of days now. So just to set the timeline, we released the part 1 video on May 14th. Later that same day, the mayor of Grayson addressed the public in response to that video, where he explained that Officer Bell was no longer employed there.
Mr. Bell has not been with the department since February of this year.
Then we released the part 2 video on May 16th, showing the aftermath of the Nate Stevens incident, and which promised this video showing the arrest of Mr. Ware involving the same officer, which took place about a month later. Then yesterday evening, May 18th, the city of Grayson releases another public statement on their Facebook page, this time in writing, which addressed both incidents. The statement is interesting because rather than just throw Bell under the bus and then promise to do better, which was what the first statement sounded like, they sort of halfway defend their actions in both incidents, and they also released portions of the body cam footage for the public to see. But the footage they released from this incident is pretty short in length, only about 13 minutes long. This seemed odd to me because part of what's been taking me so long to get this video done is the length of the body cam footage. I've spent several days going through this body cam footage because it was almost 3 hours long, and there was a lot that happened during those 3 hours. I watched and I listened to all of it, and I really don't see how they could provide context to what happened here by showing only 13 minutes. So before we get to their statement, let's just first go through the footage and lay out the important facts. In the small Appalachian town of Grayson, Kentucky, officers with the Grayson Police Department responded to a late-night call at a Taco Bell parking lot involving an intoxicated college student. Tell me a little bit about the background of your client, Khalil Ware.
Khalil, at this time, was a young man who was attending KCU here in Grayson and was playing baseball.
That's Kentucky Christian University?
Yes, it's a quiet little university here in Grayson. I actually taught there as an adjunct professor after I graduated from law school.
When the body cam footage begins, we're in the Taco Bell parking lot. How did that come to be?
There was a phone call to dispatch that there was an intoxicated young man who was unable or unwilling to exit the designated driver's car.
Had he ever been in trouble with the law before this happened?
Not that I'm aware of, and I looked at his criminal history and did not see any criminal history.
So he's gonna freak out. But so I was at my friend's house staying the night. A bunch of my friends called me. They needed picked up from this party, and I was being a DD, so I was like, okay, I'll come get you. They were in Moorhead. He was very, very intoxicated, throwing up all in my car. Leaving the party, he was like touching me, and I kept telling him to stop. And he fell asleep, threw up in my car. I couldn't get him out. That's the security guard from campus. She just came to make sure I was okay. He keeps getting out of the car, just walking around. I'm not trying to get him in trouble. He is underage. I just don't know what to do.
How old is he?
18?
What officers arrived on the scene?
It was Cole Cordell and Michael Bell.
His name's Khalil. I don't know his last name.
Play baseball?
I just really don't want him to go to jail. That's my fear. That's the reason why I didn't want to call the cops.
Do you go to school over here too? Have you had anything to drink tonight?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. I was literally asleep at my friend's house, and I got like 10 different calls. And they're like, can you come get us? Can you come get us? We don't drive.
Are they coming back from Moorhead?
I mean, everybody else has already made it back.
So I went here.
Yeah.
I know all the crap that goes on. I don't like my college looking like that.
He was like asleep, throwing up on himself.
I'm going to go to the hospital.
Has he been aggressive?
He like pushed me earlier, but like I wasn't gonna do anything about it. I was like, okay, he's drunk, I'm not gonna do anything.
Are y'all just friends or like dating or what's this?
Like
Just friends.
not even really friends. It was just like
Friends of friends?
Yeah, it's just like he needed a ride. I'm not gonna let him walk or try.
So will he not go to the...
I couldn't get him out of my car when I was on KCU because they like everybody else like got away in the side door or whatever.
And he won't?
We couldn't wake him up. So then I came here because I had used the bathroom. Everybody, like, obviously they're gone. And I get back and he's literally just walking in circles and stumbling, falling.
Sounds like he's on a little bit more than alcohol.
He's smoky too. Sorry, I didn't.
Well, it sounds like more than just.
Yeah.
He's
Where's he at?
He's in the backseat of my car.
So Bell approached the vehicle and he opened the rear door. Ware was lying down asleep in the back seat.
What's up, bud? Hey,
Yo,
sit up here for me, man. What's going on, man?
come here. I'm trying to find some help.
Trying to what?
Trying to find some help
We need some help.
with the fires.
Fires.
Yeah, with the hammers.
How much have you had to drink tonight, big dog?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nah, stay in there, man. Sit down, man.
I'm good.
I know, sit down.
Set me up.
Here.
Sit down.
How about Knuckles? Sit down. Sit up here and talk to me.
Hey, we're gonna do this one of two ways, okay? You're gonna listen to my partner, or we're not gonna play any games. And we're just gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay? He asked you to sit up. Sit up.
Yeah. I'm shutting up.
Okay. How old are you, partner?
I'm 19.
19? Where do you,
Yeah.
do you go to school over here? Or?
Yeah, I gotta KCU. Please let me just go. Please. Please let me just go.
Sit down, man.
Sit down.
No, please.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Please let me just go. Alright.
Sit down. Now sit up here and talk to me like a grown man.
Ware continued struggling to sit upright and repeatedly laid back down. Officers threatened him with force if he did not comply with their commands to sit up.
Please let me just go. Please let me just go. I'm KCU. I'm KCU.
Okay.
I am too, and you're making us look real bad right now.
Please.
Spit at me again. There he is.
No. Please just let me just go, please. Please.
Crying ain't gonna get you nowhere with me, man.
No, please just let me just go, please. I'm
Your best chance
KCU.
right now is to talk to that officer because you've got me pissed off.
No.
Talk to that officer.
No.
Stay in the car.
I'm okay. No. No.
You did this, dude. You should see yourself.
No. I'm good.
As officers attempted to gain control of Ware, Officer Bell pushed him up against the side of the car while asking for identification.
Please just tell me I'm at KCU. Please.
No. Do you have ID or anything on you?
Yes, I do.
Where's it at?
No. Please. Please just tell me I'm at KCU.
No.
No, please.
Where's your ID at? Where's your ID?
Please, I got my ID on.
Quit moving. I've told you 4 damn times to quit moving. Now stop.
Okay, I got my ID on me.
Where?
I got my. Let me tell you.
No.
about it.
Just tell
What are
me where
you
it's
on,
at.
dude?
No, officer.
Hey,
Yes,
what are you on?
yes, I'm just on liquor.
That's a lot of liquor.
Let me just in case you get something to go to sleep.
No.
That ain't happening. Where's your ID?
I got my ID on me.
Where at? This pocket?
Yes.
All right, you ain't reaching for nothing. I'm getting it.
Got Millie.
Stay against the car, man.
No, don't take me to jail.
During the interaction, Ware stated several times that he attended KCU and played baseball there. Officer Cordell responded that he also had attended KCU.
I told you to stop.
No.
Now quit.
Let me go to KCU. Let me go to KCU.
We're past that.
We're way past that, dude.
Yeah. What's your name?
No.
I told you to stop. Now quit.
Khalil, where?
Stop. Are you gonna quit?
Khalil, where? Let me go to KCU. Let me go to KCU. I play baseball.
Stay against the car.
Hey, real quick. You're not going to pull the KCU card because I'm a Knight too.
Cordell told Ware that he was making his time at KCU look like shit and instructed him not to mention KCU again.
You're not going to pull the KCU card because I'm a Knight too. I also play KCU, or I play baseball at KCU. So guess what? you're making my baseball team look like right now, okay? So, don't pull that card again, okay? I don't want to hear KCU come out of your mouth one more time.
Yes. Let me go to KCU.
Get on the ground.
No. No. Let me go to KCU. No.
Ware was then handcuffed behind his back. Officers again pushed him against the vehicle before placing him into the rear of the police car.
Get in the car.
I'm getting in the car. I'm going to KCU.
No, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get in the car.
Get
in the car now.
I'm getting in the car.
Do you mind if we look in the back of your car and see if we can find a wallet?
You can, go ahead.
Do you know where his stuff would be? Is this his?
That's his shoe. The other shoes are mine.
Hello?
Quit kicking my door. Get your ass over here and sit down.
I'm good.
Get over here and sit down.
I'm good. I'm with KCU.
I don't care.
Just get me to a bed.
No, you're going to jail.
No.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name's Khalil Ware.
Spell that.
Khalil Ware. C-A-L-E-E-L. No, listen.
Spell your last name.
W-A-R-E.
Sit down.
No, listen.
Ware attempted to stand up inside the police cruiser while speaking with the officers. Bell pulled out his taser and warned Ware that he would be tased if he did not sit down.
Listen.
I'm going to tase you if you don't get sit down.
No.
Sit down.
Ware sat back down at that point.
Get your foot in there.
My foot is in here.
Jesus Christ. It's like dealing with a 2-year-old. Where are you from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Get in the car, dude.
No.
Get in the car. I've told you 4 times.
Bell indeed used his taser in drive stun mode directly against Ware's leg.
I've told you 4 times.
All right, let me in. All right, let me in.
Are you going to listen to us?
Yeah.
Stay in the... Dude,
No.
Get your leg back in the car. Don't get it out again.
Listen.
Grayson, note on that tag. The mail's been tased.
I don't have to listen to nothing, okay? Keep your leg in the car.
No, listen. Only KCU, please.
Don't get the...
No.
Officers physically forced him back into the cruiser, during which Ware appears to have struck his head against the doorframe while being shoved into the vehicle.
Get
Get in the car.
in the car. No. No, please.
You're going to get it again.
Please.
I'm going to do it again.
Please.
Well, now I've got to use force.
Yep.
They dry stunned him in the leg because he wasn't complying by sitting up. They alleged that he was kicking the windows, trying to break the windows. That was not necessarily captured by the body cam. I'm not sure how aggressively he went after the windows, but you could clearly hear him screaming for help. He just wanted to go home and go to sleep.
What's he doing?
He's kicking your car.
Where's he at?
He's laying right here, kicking that. He was kicking that side, and he kicked this side a couple of times.
You ain't spraying on my car.
That's a fair bet. Hey,
Sit up.
Sit up.
Sit up.
What is he on? That's not his alcohol.
Sit up.
I'm drunk.
Sit up. Now stand up. Stand up.
All right, let me in.
Sit.
Run that seatbelt around. Put your knee in. What's your middle name?
Maka.
Huh?
Maka.
Come again?
Dude, I'm calling Stowers.
No, call Stowers.
If you're not gonna help us, I'm calling Stowers.
I'll help it.
You're not.
What's your middle name?
I'll help it. Maka.
Spell it.
MEKHI.
I want to pop my trunk. There should be leg shackles in there.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, stay
No, please tell me I can't see you. Please.
Quit.
No.
Put your other leg back up here.
If you spit on me, we're having an issue.
No.
Put your feet down. Put your feet down there.
I'll put my feet out.
You want me to get that wrap?
Put your foot in.
I'll put my foot in.
Put your legs
I'll
down.
put my foot in.
And move your knee.
Would you be willing to
Write
write
a
a statement for us?
About what you saw and how he resisted and all that.
Yeah. If
Do you have
that's,
any statements?
if that's what you need me to do.
It would greatly benefit it just because of the situation at hand. You're going to jail.
You think we can't see you?
No, you're going to jail. Come on. Nice try.
Please. Take me to
Come on.
KCU.
You're not going to KCU.
At about the 32-minute mark in the body cam footage, they arrive at the police station. The officers put Ware in the observation room, and they tell him to sit down and don't move.
Watch it. Alright, this is where you're going to stay for a little bit.
I'm walking over to the chair. Sit down. Sit down. Don't move.
Everything's audio and video recorded.
Never seen so many dum-dums in my life.
A few minutes later, Officer Bell notices through the observation room window that Ware is now standing up and he's walking around the room. So he goes and he gets his gloves and then he opens the door. He's holding pepper spray and he says, "Sit down or you're going to get sprayed."
Sit down over here, you're going to get sprayed.
No.
Sit down. Quit bouncing off crap. Sit down.
No, I'm good.
Then quit running into walls.
Can you let me go to that milk?
No, you're going to jail. So that's it.
No.
Then Ware sits down and Bell shuts the door, but continues to watch Ware through the observation room window. Then they notice that he stands back up again, so at about 37 minutes, Bell goes back in the room, pepper spray in hand, and tells Ware to go over there and sit down.
Get over there and sit down. Last time I'm telling you. The next time I come in here, because you're bouncing off walls, you're going to get pepper spray. Okay? Do you understand?
Can't Gun Millie come get me?
No. So the next time you bounce off one of my walls in here trying to go you're going to get sprayed. That's your last warning.
No.
Hey, let me make this real.
No.
I'm gonna be real nice to you for just a second.
Please.
Let me be real nice.
No, please.
Okay.
Please. No. Listen.
I was trying to be nice. I was gonna explain it to him. I'm gonna be nice about it. I'm gonna sucker.
So they continue to watch him through the window, and he stays seated for a few moments, and then he attempts to stand up and he falls to the ground. So then they scramble and they get the pepper spray ready and they head towards the door of the room.
What did I tell you?
Please,
Sit down.
No.
Sit down.
No.
Sit down.
No.
Several times Bell aims the spray right towards Ware's face, but he doesn't spray it yet, though it's obvious that Ware is so drunk that he has no idea what's going on, or that he's even being threatened with pepper spray.
Please! Please!
Sit down.
Listen.
Sit down.
No, listen. Listen.
Last warning.
Can you listen?
No.
Can you listen?
No.
Listening time's over.
No! Please, I play baseball.
That's cool. I'll play baseball. I didn't act like that.
No!
So they close the door, and Ware sits back down. They again watch him through the window, and Cordell says, "If I called his coach right now, it'd be a bad day." And you know, why didn't you call his coach at that point instead of just threatening to spray his eyes with pepper juice?
Please!
If I called his coach right now, it'd be a bad day.
Then Bell leaves and he goes into the conference room where this poor girl, who was the designated driver, is still writing out this statement.
What's he doing?
Open the door, please! Please, I'm scared! Please!
They open the door again, and there's Ware still saying no, 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 and they again tell him to sit down, pepper spray in hand.
Sit down.
Please, no.
Sit down.
Please,
I'm not telling you again. Sit down.
Listen, let me.
Sit down or you're getting sprayed.
No, listen.
Sit down.
Listen.
I'm done listening. Sit down.
No, listen! Please!
Sit down.
Let me go to Gun Millie, please.
Sit down in the chair.
No!
Yeah.
Please, listen.
Sit down.
No, listen!
Sit down.
No, listen. I go to
Sit down.
Moorhead.
I don't care. Sit down.
Cordell's standing there in the hallway, and he says, "You've given him so many more warnings than I would have."
You get so many more warnings than I.
He's headbutting him.
Bell then watches again through the window, and Ware stays seated for a bit, and Cordell stands in the hallway, ready to go back into the room at a moment's notice. And as Bell watches through the window, at about 43 minutes and 51 seconds into the body cam footage, Ware gets up once again from his chair that he was not handcuffed to, and he starts to walk towards the observation room door. Bell then responds. He goes to the door to meet Ware.
Please.
Sit down.
Before the door is opened, you can hear Ware saying, "Please." So Bell opens the door, after which you hear Ware say, "Please," again, and without saying a word in response, without saying a word to Ware, Bell just sprays Ware right in the face with pepper spray.
Please.
And as he gets sprayed in the face, Ware is standing still in the corner of the room. He feels the spray hit his face and immediately turns his face towards the wall. Notice that at the time of the spraying, Ware is motionless. He's not taking any movements towards Bell or the door. He's not threatening the safety of Bell in any way. And prior to spraying, Bell says nothing. Only after he sprays him does Bell shout, "Sit down."
Please.
Sit down.
Struggling to see through the pepper, Ware makes his way over to the table in the chair and he attempts to sit down. Cordell never enters the room at this time. Immediately afterwards, Bell walks into the nearby conference room where the same girl is still sitting there, possibly witnessing all of this, trying to finish this statement they had her write out. And Bell keeps walking past her outside the building, probably because he had self-contaminated his own eyes with the pepper spray. At the time that they pepper sprayed him, what was the purpose in doing that? Did Mr. Ware pose any sort of safety threat to anyone? Or were they doing it for some other purpose?
It appears that they were at their wits' end on how to address him. Maybe they didn't receive proper training on how to address someone in his condition. They should have received medical care for him immediately. But it appeared to be out of frustration and lack of knowledge of how to handle the situation.
Bell ends up coughing himself over and over again due to the overspray, the small amount of overspray that he received from pepper spraying Ware, after which he was able to open the exterior door of the police department, go outside, get some fresh air. He does this several times.
Dude, you react so bad to that stuff. He's still going.
Meanwhile, Ware is stuck inside this small sealed room after having received much more than just overspray, but having taken it straight to his face and still covered in pepper juice, including in his eyes.
What's he doing? Is he kicking again?
He's at the door, yanking on the door. And
312, you want EMS now or stand by?
stand by, still aggressive.
Stand by. He's still aggressive.
Stand by.
Is he still standing?
No, his light's off.
He's handcuffed, so he can't do anything about it at all. And he was never at this point decontaminated in any way or given any fresh air at all. Then Bell opens the door, telling Ware to quit.
Quit.
I'm good. Let me just lay down.
We see Ware sitting down, apparently suffering from the side effects of the spray. After opening the door, Bell can't even take the spray floating around in that room, and himself begins coughing, and he has to close the door, leaving Ware inside untreated. And as Bell is coughing, Cordell says, "You need to stop going in there."
Dude, you need to stop going in there.
Yeah.
Bell then once again goes outside coughing, and he tries to recover his breath. Cordell walks to the doorway and asks Bell if he's okay. Bell says he's okay, but says now that he wants to put Ware's cuffs behind his back.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm good. I do think we need to put some cuffs behind his back, though.
How do you get him back in front?
He moved him over there.
He's very flexible.
I can. If you go in there, you're gonna have an asthma attack. I can go in.
Well, as soon as it calms down a minute, we'll move into this other observation room. Alright. I'm going to try to do my report now.
Meanwhile, the poor designated driver girl is still sitting there trying to write out this statement. Eventually, Bell sits down in the conference room to work on his report. Still leaving Ware in the contaminated room with no detox. Then he hears something and he asks, what's he doing?
What's he doing?
He's sitting down now. He just keeps standing up and running around.
So Bell puts the gloves back on as Cordell goes into the room. Through the window, you can see Cordell grab Ware and push him back against the wall as Ware says, please, please, please.
Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Please, I've been pepper sprayed already.
Yeah, and you're gonna get more.
Please, please. Please, please, please. Please, 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 let me go to sleep.
From the doorway, Bell can hardly watch this because he's hacking and he's coughing due to the pepper spray.
Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep.
Stop talking. Okay?
Let me go to sleep.
Stop talking.
Let me go to sleep.
Stop talking. I'm not asking you to talk. Okay? Listen to me.
Yes.
Do you want more drugs?
I live at KCU.
I went to KCU. I don't care.
I live at KCU.
Sit and shut up.
Cordell finally tells Ware to just sit down and shut up, don't talk.
Sit down and shut up. Okay?
Okay.
Don't talk.
Then he walks out, leaving Ware in the room once again undetoxed. Bell once again goes back outside to get fresh air. But then he hears Ware. Cordell is standing there saying, "Your turn."
Your turn.
Then Bell gets his pepper spray again and he prepares to enter the room. They have a difficult time opening the door because Ware is trying to get out of the room at the same time. You hear him saying no, no, no over and over again, and then Cordell uses his body weight to bust the door open, and you see Ware back in the same corner where he was sprayed before. He's saying no, 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 no. He's not assaulting the officers in any way. He's not posing any sort of a safety threat. He's just saying no, 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 and standing in the corner. Neither officer at that point says anything. Neither officer issues any orders, any instructions. Cordell just watches, and Bell extends his right arm and once again sprays Khalil Ware in the face.
No. Sit down. Sit down. No.
Meanwhile, he's handcuffed, so he can't shield himself from the pepper spray.
No, please.
Just like the first time, only after spraying him did Bell give any commands. Again, he just said, "Sit down."
Sit down. Please let me go to KCU.
No.
Please let me go to sleep. Sleep in there. No.
Once again, after spraying him a second time, they just leave him in there.
No.
And again, he gets back up and he's hollering. Bell again opens the door, and you can see the pepper spray on Ware's face.
No, please. Let me go to kiss. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep.
Then he's forced to sit back down.
Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep at KCU. Let me go to sleep. No.
Bell himself is coughing and hacking due to all of the pepper spray that is in that room.
Let me go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. Let me sleep.
Dude, I'm about to...
No.
I'm about to cut this jacket off.
No, cut it off. Cut off.
How did you wrap your hands up?
Cut it off.
No.
No, cut it off. Cut it off. I'm finna die.
Nope. You're not dying. We're not killing you. But what I am doing is...
No, cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Please.
You're sitting down.
Please.
Go ahead.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
420.
I can't breathe.
Well, you done it.
No, I can't breathe.
Then, at about 54 minutes into this interaction on the body cam footage, both of these cops then apparently lock themselves inside that contaminated room. With Ware screaming that he's gonna die, they try to punch in the code, but it's not working.
No! I can't breathe. I can't breathe here.
Alright, take my
No!
31 seconds.
No! No, police. I'ma die. No! 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 I'm gonna die! No, please!
Eventually, they get out of the room, once again leaving Ware in that contaminated room with no detox, no fresh air. But Bell, he goes outside and he hacks and he coughs for an extended period of time. Why did they put him in this observation room for this like long period of time as opposed to just taking him to jail?
I've asked myself that. I really can't answer it. But what makes sense is they wanted an opportunity to observe him because there was a use of force report being prepared based upon their statements at the scene before they got to the police department. And also it allowed the witness to give a written statement and allow Bell to type his incident report.
As you can see, so far, it had been a complete show. And then everything changed after a third police officer arrived. And that was the arrival of Sergeant Smith, who I take it was the supervisor of these two guys.
Dude in the car?
In there.
Oh, okay. That's better than...
Morning, bro. I very much appreciate you, though. Thank you so much for coming. More than enough.
Have you decontaminated yet?
No, because he won't sit still long enough. He keeps trying to run out the door.
Did you get him good?
Oh, yeah. Twice. Got him once. He'd sit down and he keeps running in head first in the door.
He still want to fight?
Yeah.
What should they have done rather than the way that they did handle this situation?
Basically, the exact opposite of what they actually did do. They should have tried to de-escalate the situation and calm him down. And one thing that I will state, after Sergeant Kyle Smith arrived on the scene, he did immediately try to de-escalate the situation, rinse the pepper spray out of his face. And that's something that should have happened earlier.
I agree. Once that guy got there, instead of just pepper spraying somebody and leaving him in this contaminated room, like he talks to him like he's talking to, a highly intoxicated person who doesn't really understand what's going on. And he shows kind of how that should have been handled as opposed to how Bell handled it.
I agree.
Unfortunately, this didn't happen until about an hour in. So an hour in, Sergeant Smith arrives. One of the first things that he says is, "Did you decontaminate him yet?" And no, they hadn't. Again, this is already like an hour in, like 15 or 20 minutes after they had pepper sprayed him in the eyes. They've left him in this contaminated room with pepper spray in his eyes, handcuffed, no way to even wipe his eyes at all. The entire time, begging and crying for help.
Trying his hardest to get back to KCU. He knows that we are the cops.
He tried to run from me out here. He tried to run.
He tried to run from me out there.
Did you got your cane? Is it still on?
It's still on. Okay. I've been on the whole time.
All right.
So Sergeant Smith, apparently being the only adult present, does what should have been done from the beginning. He goes inside to see Ware and to speak with him, and almost immediately he asks him if he wants to get the pepper spray out of his eyes.
Hey! It's Sergeant Smith. What's going on?
What'd you bust your nose on?
You want to go get that pepper spray out of your eyes?
Yeah.
All right, now listen. If you don't want me to do that, you want me to help you, I need you to be calm, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to escort you out to the side for get you some water.
And somehow magically he's able to converse and deal with Ware without having to use violence or to spray him. He talks to him. He's patient with him.
Please save me, Casey.
He gets him to get up and they walk him over to the Sallyport area of the police station. And then they do what should have been done a long time ago, and they start to decontaminate him, and they start spraying all of the pepper juice out of his eyes and off of his face.
All right, listen, you're gonna have a seat. I'm gonna give you some water, okay? Yeah. All right, sit. Hold on. Right here. There you go. Sit straight back.
Lean forward a little bit, bud.
Give me some water, please.
We're trying to. You gotta lean forward, man.
I'm gonna
Keep your head straight.
I'm gonna spray your eyes out.
You gotta lean forward.
Here, now blink for me.
Blink it out.
Here, blink in the water.
There you go. He's turning his head. There you go, man. That's good.
Even an hour into this, he's still highly intoxicated. He eventually starts to stand up and holler again, but it's no big deal. Eventually they lay him down and it starts to calm him a little bit.
I'm good. Let me go to KCU.
You don't sound good, man.
I'm good. Trust me. Trust me. Let me just go lay loud.
Then they stand him back up and they walk him back to the observation room.
No, please. Officer. Officer.
Nathan, chill. Why are you still screaming?
Officer.
Why are you still screaming?
Officer. Okay. You want to Okay. Please let me up.
Here, turn around so I can talk. There you go. Sit straight back. Sit straight back. Chill. You play baseball. How you acting?
Please let
You play baseball. Why you acting?
Please let me go to sleep. Okay.
I want you to sleep. But you mess with my officers all night.
No, I'm sorry.
They've had pepper spray. They've had to fight you. Why's all that?
I'm
Why
sorry.
you acting like this?
I'm sorry. Please
Okay, but
let
why
me.
are you acting like this?
Please let me go to KCU. Okay.
Eventually, the EMTs arrive, and about an hour and 15 minutes in, Officer Cordell tells the EMTs going into the observation room, hey, it's hot in there. It's real spicy.
It's hot in there. It's really spicy.
Yet that's where they were keeping Ware this entire time, where it was really spicy.
You wouldn't make you feel better.
My lungs are shot from cardio.
Can you cut these wrists so
Sit down. If I gotta come in here again, we're gonna get in more trouble. Let me do my citation. Quit bouncing her head off crap. Sit down here and let's get through this together. Okay?
Then, a little over 2 hours in, this is all still going on, then another supervisor arrives. He looks like maybe he's the bigger boss of the supervisors.
Hey, stop sitting on, guys. Come on.
And they're all sort of talking and laughing about the whole thing as Bell is sitting there typing up his report from this incident. At about 2 hours and 15 minutes, Bell tells this bigger boss that he's got to go urinate, and may he leave his body cam on the desk while he does that.
I'm gonna go urinate. May I place this on the table so I can
You may.
get it still active?
There's a video somewhere. There's a video somewhere. Yeah, where he's still with the combatant.
And this supervisor seems surprised to learn that Bell had still been recording. And he sort of steps backwards, and he also points out to Cordell, who's just over there spilling his beans, spilling his guts about something, that, hey, this body cam is still over there recording everything that he's saying, and yet he still continues to talk.
Yeah. Well, Dawn,
Best air is the best.
is our stuff oil based or is it water based?
Bell puts on his gloves and he goes back to the observation room to get Ware in order to take him to jail. Khalil Ware is asleep at that point, and he says, wake up, big dog, let's get you to jail.
Hey, man. Hey, Colleen. Hey. Wake up, big dog. Wake up, big dog.
This is 2.5, almost 3 hours later. I mean, why didn't they take him to jail to begin with? Or even take him to the hospital? Why did they take him and just put him inside this interview/observation room and just let him wander around in this room completely out of his mind drunk, and then spray him and then leave him in there? Why did they do that for almost 3 hours and not just take him to jail to begin with?
All right, man. Stand up here for me. Let's get you to the jail. Okay. Set it. Let's get you to the jail, man.
So they walk him out to the police cruiser, they put him in the back of the car, and then Officer Bell drives him to jail.
Watch your head.
Please, can you take these off my fingers? No.
Move your knee.
They pull into the garage, they get him out of the car eventually, and they walk him into the jail.
You're not at KC, you're at jail.
It takes a while, but eventually they get him processed. And then at some point he wakes up like the next morning, the next day, and he has no recollection apparently of all of this stuff that had just happened. I got a chance once again to talk to his lawyer, Derrick Willis, about everything that happened, what he was charged with, and about the ultimate resolution of the criminal charges. What sort of inspired you to take on this case?
I was inspired to take on the case because he was a young 20-year-old man attending school, trying to better his life. And I have children around the same age. I wanted to help him. He was embarrassed and he definitely regretted the incident occurred. I requested the body cam, and when I watched it, the first thing that struck me was he was standing in the corner asking for help and was pepper sprayed when he was not a threat to anyone. And then I watched it again and again, and it just got worse every time I watched it.
Sit down. Sit down. Don't get up.
I swear to God, I won't get up.
Thing is, man, he had a ride home. Somebody, a sober person,
who was my ride home?
And he wouldn't get out of her car over to campus.
No, wait. Ouch! No, I'm so sorry. No, please.
Don't be getting up.
No, I swear to God, I won't get up again. Can you please call somebody to come get me?
What was he charged with?
He was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, menacing, and public intoxication.
Did you represent him on those charges?
I did.
And are they resolved now?
He pleaded guilty to public intoxication, a $100 fine plus court costs, and all other charges were dismissed by motion of the Commonwealth.
No, please. I'm a baseball player. I got practice tomorrow, please.
You're not a baseball player.
No.
Baseball players don't act like that.
No, I'm not.
Sit down.
No.
Does Khalil have any recollection of this?
No. He has a vague recollection. He doesn't remember all the incidents or events that occurred, and he really did not go into detail about the next morning. I think, again, he was just embarrassed, and after he became aware of everything that happened through the body cam, he was very upset.
Shut up. I'm sober now. Oh,
really?
I think most of us have sort of been in that position at some point, especially if we went to college, of drinking too much and learning the hard way. And if I recall like those times, I don't remember anything. It's that sort of situation where like he's not even going to remember this the next day. In fact, I did that as an adult, like the first New Year's after all the COVID stuff. In fact, it was at my paralegal Amanda's house. It got into a moonshine drinking competition with like one of her friends. And my wife and kids just ended up leaving me there to die, basically. I woke up on the couch at like noon or 1 o'clock the next day, zero recollection of anything that happened. And I'm like, God, I'm such an idiot. And here I was like 40.
Is it the best for me to go pee or no?
Chair.
Okay, I will go pee. I'll go pee.
Chair.
What happened as far as his life goes? Did he get in trouble? I mean, I know there was discussion regarding him being on the baseball team at KCU. Did anything happen with that? Did the coaches get involved? Did he get in trouble at baseball?
I'm not sure what happened there, but I do know that he returned home to Georgia.
Did he have any like lasting injuries or anything like that physically? as a result of this?
No lasting injuries, no.
As far as moving forward, does he or do you have any plans to file a lawsuit on his behalf?
That's something that we have discussed, but we haven't really decided how to handle that situation yet, but we are discussing it.
As Derrick Willis explained, Khalil Ware was initially charged with public intox, resisting arrest, menacing, and disorderly conduct. The final outcome of his criminal case was that he pled guilty to public intox with a $100 fine and time served, and then all of the other charges were dismissed at the request of the prosecutor. Khalil Ware ended up leaving KCU and moving back to his home state of Georgia. In their public statement, the city of Grayson appears to have attempted to justify Bell and Cordell's actions that night. This is what they wrote. Our police officers often do dangerous, fast-paced work, and they must make immediate decisions on the scene of an incident. And like all police, they're often second-guessed. This is true. In fact, it's a foundational principle of excessive force law that police officers are often forced to make split-second decisions, and the courts don't want to armchair quarterback those decisions with 20/20 hindsight so long as they are arguably reasonable. However, where police officers act unreasonably, even in tense and fast-moving situations, they are still responsible for their actions and will be held accountable when they break the rules. So how do we know when they break the rules? For instance, when they tase or use pepper spray, but maybe should not have. This is determined using 3 different factors: the Graham factors, the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect posed an immediate safety threat, and whether the suspect was actively resisting arrest or attempting to flee or evade. So let's compare the explanation from their public statement to those rules. The statement continued, "Recently, some YouTube commentators have criticized the work of a former Grayson officer. In one instance, a young woman acted as a designated driver, called 911 for help. When a very intoxicated male passenger refused to get out of her car, our officers responded. The footage shows what they encountered at 3 a.m., the chances they gave the man to comply, and the conduct they finally had to address. Police must deal with everyone, including very drunk people who refuse to listen." The drunk person later admitted to and was convicted for his criminal actions. This demonstrates the entire problem here. The issue is not whether Khalil should have been arrested and held responsible for his actions that night, but rather whether these officers crossed a constitutional line in the sand by the manner in which they did it. Their main defense here seems to be, well, it was 3 a.m., he wasn't complying with what he was being told to do, he was very drunk, and he was later convicted of being drunk, public intoxication. The only issue in this case is whether the amount of force used against Khalil Ware was excessive under the circumstances. Unlike the Nate Stevens case, there's no dispute that it was justified to arrest Khalil. He was a problem. He was causing this girl a problem. He was causing the cops a problem once they arrived. They did have to deal with him. The question is whether they dealt with him properly. So let's compare their explanation and what we know to the Graham factors. Here, the severity of the crime at issue was pretty low. Khalil was arrested for public intox and disorderly conduct, and then they tacked on menacing and resisting arrest. But initially, he was under arrest for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. Public intoxication, which was his ultimate conviction and only conviction here, is about as low of severity as it gets. With regard to disorderly conduct, the Sixth Circuit has already held that disorderly conduct is not a serious crime for purposes of determining whether an officer used excessive force in effectuating an arrest for that crime. With regard to the second Graham factor, whether the suspect posed an immediate safety threat, we have essentially 3 different uses of force here. First, the tasing in the back of the police cruiser in the Taco Bell parking lot, and then the 2 separate pepper spraying incidents at the police station.
Please.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
The Sixth Circuit has held that tasing or pepper spraying an arrestee who has already been subdued and who does not present a danger to himself or others is unconstitutional. And this is their biggest problem. During the first use of force, the taser to the leg in the back of the police cruiser, Khalil was already handcuffed at that time. He was in custody. He was surrounded by 2 police officers who were never in any danger from Khalil. Likewise, during both of the pepper spray incidents at the police station, Khalil was already in custody, handcuffed, and though he wasn't complying with their orders and he was obnoxiously drunk, he posed them no danger. Grayson's written statement alleged no danger. Officer Bell's police report also mentioned no safety concerns, no danger. To the contrary, regarding the use of the taser, Bell wrote that he tased Ware to gain compliance. Regarding the pepper spray, Bell wrote in his report, while he was in the observation room, the male continued to run into the walls and beat on the door. He was verbally warned multiple times to remain in the seat and stop beating the walls. After several warnings, I administered pepper spray. Once pepper spray was administered, the male sat down. However, he continued to beat on the walls. Once Sergeant Smith arrived, him and the other officer Cordell escorted the above into the sally port. So Bell didn't mention in his report that he actually pepper sprayed Khalil 2 separate times. He admits in the report that the pepper spray was used to get him to sit down as opposed to being used in response to any safety threat at all. Khalil was already handcuffed and in custody in a locked room in the police department. Nor does Bell admit to leaving Khalil in the room for 20 minutes or so after he sprayed him without decontamination in the sealed room where pepper spray was sort of wafting around. So going back to the city of Grayson's explanation, it may be that Khalil Ware was a royal pain in the ass that night that the officer should not have had to deal with. It was 3 a.m. He was drunk. He was failing to comply with just about everything they told him to do. But the Fourth Amendment does not allow police officers to use tasers and pepper spray on suspects arrested for minor crimes who do not pose a safety threat. They are not to be used by officers just to gain compliance where there's no safety threat. They are not to be used by police officers as a tool of punishment where there's no actual safety threat. Here, that's exactly what Bell did. Do this or I'll tase you. Do this or I'll spray you. Last warning, follow my directions or you'll get sprayed. To make matters worse, it was even less reasonable here because Khalil was handcuffed at all relevant times. Rarely is it going to be reasonable to tase or pepper spray someone who is already handcuffed and already in custody. Maybe if they're actively still fighting, kicking, resisting, biting, or in the process of trying to run away or something like that. The Sixth Circuit has held explicitly that no reasonable officer would continue to spray a chemical agent into the face of a handcuffed and hobbled arrestee. Here, I don't think there's any legitimate argument that this was constitutional unless your opinion is just that you don't care because F around, find out. Objectively, if we care about the law, they violated the law here. Fortunately, the city of Grayson did have body cams, as well as a policy where supervisors were required to subsequently review any uses of force. I don't know exactly what happened here or how it went down, but it sounds like as a result of these 2 body cam videos, the Stevens arrest and the Ware arrest, the city of Grayson and Officer Bell parted ways. I saw that, I think it was yesterday, the city of Grayson released a public statement addressing this incident, as well as the Nate Stevens incident, and also releasing some portion of the footage from this incident. Do you have any reaction to that?
I didn't watch it. I had a few people mention it to me, but I've seen the body cam and very well acquainted with the events that occurred, and so I just didn't watch it.
I'm Mayor Troy Combs. On behalf of the City of Grayson and the Grayson Police Department, I would like to address a video circulating on social media involving the actions of a former employee of the department. Mr. Bell has not been with the department since February of this year, after a tenure of 13 months. The video makes reference to 2 cases involving the former officer. In the first case, communication was received after the referenced incident, and the concerns were noted by the department as the case was going through the judicial process. Mr. Bell tendered his resignation prior to the resolution of both cases. We are fortunate to have the resources necessary to have secured body cameras for our officers, and did so in October of 2025. Our officers have embraced and will continue to embrace the utilization of body cams for the level of accountability and transparency they provide to our internal operations and for the public. Thank you.
I thought one of the most telling statements was caught at there were statements made about accountability and being held accountable for your own actions, particularly from one of the officers.
People are responsible for their own actions, okay? And if we don't make them
suffer consequences for their actions,
Yes, sir.
then they continue to do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
So who's to say somebody else doesn't need me, and instead of just pushing the next on, he physically hits them harder or does something even worse.
Yes, sir.
So I think that is something that all of this will encourage in the future.
As often happens with officers like this, they pop up somewhere else, some other small town down the road. That's apparently what happened here. Michael Bell left the Grayson Police Department and he popped up in the town of Paintsville, Kentucky. Here's an article from their local newspaper, the Paintsville Herald, showing Bell taking the oath of office upon being hired by their police department just a few months ago. Well, he was only there about a month, and then there was another headline from Paintsville, Kentucky. Man shot, 2 officers on leave following investigation into stolen motorcycle. Officers in Paintsville had some sort of traffic safety checkpoint set up, and they saw this guy on a motorcycle they thought looked suspicious. Apparently, they ended up chasing him. It turns into a pursuit, and they end up tasing him multiple times in an attempt to apprehend him, as well as deploying pepper spray. Apparently, when that didn't work, they shot him. Now, they're claiming that the guy was armed with a gun and a knife, but it's Kentucky, and who isn't? The Kentucky State Police is investigating, and the media report says 2 officers are on leave. Now, here's the weird part. The media report does not mention Michael Bell as having been involved, nor does the police report, which I managed to obtain. It mentions 2 officers by name, but it does not mention Bell. One officer wrote the report, but does not specifically allege himself having been present. In the report, only one other officer is mentioned by name, and that name is not Bell's. However, my sources from inside law enforcement in Kentucky are telling me that Bell was actually involved. If that's true, why wasn't Bell mentioned in the report? I guess we'll have to wait to find out, which I will. And you can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can follow me on X at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.